years of experience in her field, delivering mentorship, guidance, support to her clients, as she has worked tremendously to transform the lives of those she has served. And through their shared experiences of working, through their shared experience of working with her throughout their journeys, have expressed the blessing of doing so. Keturah is currently in the process of becoming an ICF certified coach. She has committed herself to bring out the best of her clients, help them, guiding them back into their power. Through Keturah's own healing, she came to learn her purpose in this beautiful world by holding space for others to begin the healing process. With her expertise, Keturah will help us to discover our goddess powers and put ourselves first. Originally from Wichita, Kansas, and now residing in the San Francisco Bay Area, Keturah is passionate about holding the frequency of love in sacred containers and helping others to vibrate at their highest divine frequency. And now may I present to you all Miss Keturah Miller.
Hello, hello, hello. I'm so honored to be here. Thank you so much for that beautiful and warm welcome. All right, so before I get started, I'd love for you if you could just take yourself off mute for just a second. And I'd love for you if you could repeat after me and say, my soul is a beautiful gift to this world.
My soul is a beautiful gift to this world.
Beautiful. You can put yourself back on mute. Thank you. My name is Keturah Miller, and I'm honored to be here with you today to discuss one of my favorite topics, self-love, self-care, mental health, and well-being. Now, before I get into the whys and the whats of my story, I want to start us off with a little visual exercise because I love a good grounding moment. I think it's important before you enter into new spaces that you have a second to clear your mind and be present. And often at times, I feel like we're running to the next thing and to the next thing and to the next thing. And so we don't have the opportunity to just sit and be. So I would love to take some deep breaths together to clear our minds. So if you wouldn't mind closing your eyes. And really just taking the time to just sit and be. Noticing any surroundings, anything that you might hear. Noticing the rising and falling of your chest. Noticing the rising and falling of your belly. And just being in this moment, honoring yourself for being here today. We'll take a couple of deep breaths together, in and out. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Another deep breath in. Deep breath out. And last deep breath in. Deep breath out. And I want you to continue to close your eyes just for a couple of moments. I want you to think about your morning routine. And on this particular day, I want you to think about having breakfast at a coffee shop. Maybe it's the neighborhood spot that you love so much. You're sitting down at this table at this coffee shop. You're slowly eating breakfast, and you're by yourself. And you're really enjoying every delicious bite of the meal. Your coffee is so bomb, or maybe it's the tea that you're drinking or orange juice.
Water.
You're tasting the textures of the drink that you're drinking. You're accessing presence. You're being mindful. And you really love this time that you're by yourself in this moment. However, all of a sudden, a stranger comes up to you and sits down, crosses their legs in front of you, and says, I want you to know that you'll never be successful, and all of your goals will never be accomplished. So you're sitting there and you're like, what? What just happened right now? You're confused. You're in a daze. Who is this person? What just happened? And then all of a sudden, before you could even get a word out edgewise, this person exits stage left and you no longer see them. Still closing your eyes, the next day, you get up in the morning and you brushed off that hater moment from the previous day. You're like, nope, I'm not even going to let this bother me or steal my joy or steal my shine. So you decided that you want to get up and you want to go on a walk this morning before you get to your daily activities. And this walk is extra sweet because it's a beautiful day. You can see the blue sky with the beautiful white clouds. The sun is shining. You're feeling the warmth on your skin. The weather is a perfect 70 degrees. You're hearing birds chirping. There's a slight breeze. You feel the breeze on your face. You're feeling good. However, all of a sudden you start hearing someone yell from a distance, hey you! Hey you over there! And you notice this person's yelling from behind. And you turn around and they say to you, you're not from here. The way you think is so different. You should just stop trying. So at this point, you're getting ready to give this person a piece of your mind because you're like, you are not talking to me that way, right? Or at least you know at the very least, what they're telling you is not true. Now, let's switch this up for a second. What if this person was your best friend that was telling you all these negative things? Think about that for a second. And as you open up your eyes back up, when you think about your best friend telling you these things, wouldn't you tell them a piece of your mind? You'd probably tell your best friend, girl, bye, get out of here with all that noise, right? Bye, sis, Or you probably wouldn't even be their friend anymore. Because how could you have someone talk to you in those negative ways? Now, I want you to imagine that same person is you. The person that's been saying all the negative stuff, all this crazy stuff is you. You. Living rent-free in your head. And you've allowed all this negativity and destructive self-talk go on for too long. And so I want you to think about our chaotic world and how crazy it could be at sometimes. And I want you to think about, why is it that with so many obstacles our world presents to us, why is it that we allow ourselves to be our own biggest obstacle? If you don't believe in yourself, how can you expect anyone else to?
Amen.
So remember, the next time this negative person is living rent-free in your mind, notice, are the things that you're saying to yourself, are they building me up? Are the things that I'm saying to myself preventing me from additional growth? And remember, when these voices in your head start talking all this nonsense, know that they are not facts. They are only fears trying to stop you from being who you're supposed to be. I think back to the time when I was in high school and then when I went on to college, I always wanted to be like Oprah. I mean, who didn't want to be like Oprah? She was dope. She still is. And, my little fear, AKA Judge, we'll call him Judge Jesse for now, but he would tell me all the things like, people are going to hate your voice if you want to be like Oprah. You're not going to be like Oprah. You don't have a story to tell. You don't know how to write. So you know what I did? I switched my major from broadcast journalism so I wouldn't be in front of the screen, in front of the scene, to print journalism so I could be behind the scenes. And I let that little voice win. But when I think about things, like my biggest accomplishments have come from when I've literally had to check my mental health and overcome those nasty voices in my head telling me that I couldn't live out my dreams. I conquered my fear with my voice, right? I told that little judge, sit all the way down. And I started my first podcast last year. I started working as a mentor and a mental health advocate over 10 years ago. I became an embodiment coach over the past year. And now I'm living out my wildest dreams. My ancestors would be so proud. Because right now, like, I'm with you, I'm doing this event, which is amazing. And I get an opportunity to support women truly become their most authentic, powerful versions of themselves by remembering their own truth and standing in their power. And it was then when I decided to see the road of me ahead as an opportunity to not only conquer my fear, but to help change the world and humanity with love, and to support guiding each soul I meet with kindness and remembrance. So as we remember to be in this human existence, let's remember the beautiful power of choice that we have. What choice are we going to make? The positive one or the negative one? One of my favorite quotes from my favorite book is called Return to Love by Marianne Williamson, which, by the way, I have read 10 times because this book is so good. It says this, and she says this: our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve this world. There's nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine, as children do. We were born to make the manifest the glory of God that is within us. It's not just in some of us, it's everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. Beautiful quote, right? So true. This quote reminds me that we have an entire world of possibilities if we could just only simply notice the options that we have to love ourselves and to treat ourselves kindly and to make self-care a priority. But let's be real, right? It's easier said than done. And I know this journey is not always easy. And what's even crazier is self-love, self-care, mental health, well-being should be like a prerequisite is for graduating college. in my opinion. And it's not taught to us. So it's upon us to teach ourselves. So I had to teach myself. Keturah, you deserve to be here. I stopped listening to the "you are not worthy enough." I stopped listening to the "you might fail" messages too. And I started listening to the "you are amazing, you are dope, you're talented."